I do remember thinking, why is this wrong? It's love. It's beautiful. It's consensual.
The woman in this video is describing how her decision to leave Christianity started when she read a book about a homosexual couple that she found very beautiful, and she couldn't understand why it was wrong. To her, it was consensual, it was love, it was beautiful. And I wanted to make a video on this topic because this is a good representation of how the overwhelming majority of anti-Christian advocates on this app tend to argue, and I use the word argue loosely here. When I look for videos to respond to, I actually have a pretty decently hard time finding something that I even feel is worth responding to. Because despite the large number of anti-Christian content creators on this app, the vast majority of them are not actually presenting any arguments for me to address. Their reasoning is, I don't like this verse, or I don't agree with this moral position, or something like that. And so I wanted to take just a quick minute to address why this type of reasoning is really bad. This shouldn't have to be said, but it apparently needs to be. You nor I are infallible moral judges. Just because you feel really strongly that something is morally permissible or impermissible doesn't mean it actually is. I think it's funny that Christians get accused of being arrogant for a variety of reasons, but then oftentimes those same people who are accusing us will turn around and act as if they are omniscient on matters of morality. Generally, people who are engaged in immoral actions don't think those actions are wrong. Generally, people are quite confident that what they are doing is not wrong, whether it be something as monumental as the Holocaust or as seemingly insignificant as shoplifting a candy bar. And what makes this issue worse is that anytime we approach a moral issue, we already have motivations to judge one way or another. If we are sitting and thinking about the morality of something, it's generally because there is some action we want to do or some action we don't want to do. And you not wanting to condemn an action that your lesbian friends are engaging in is just as much a motivation as any. If we are fallen creatures, as Christianity has always maintained, we should very much expect for our heart's desire to often lead us to things that God has declared off limits. Our moral intuition are thus often corrupt judges who are, so to speak, bribed from the very beginning. The woman in this video speaks of being indoctrinated as a Christian and the dangers of it, but she fails to recognize that she is no less indoctrinated now than she was before. She may have left the echo chamber of the church, but she simply joined the echo chamber of the present culture. Her process for evaluating her faith seems to be based solely on what she is currently hearing and is it what she wants to be true. Christians are also not infallible when it comes to moral judgments, but at least we have the humility and the good sense to submit our desires to the only being that is. We recognize that just because we can't immediately recognize God's motivation for prohibiting something, that doesn't entail that we aren't justified in following his decrees. When I was younger, I didn't understand much of Christian sexual ethics regarding abstinence, but I followed it because I trusted God. And now, as I get older and I am married and observing the lives of both my Christian and non-Christian friends, I see it. I see it dimly, but I see it. I see the destructive harm on people's lives and their souls that America's sexual culture brings. And I'm very thankful for the countless nights where I refrained from engaging in an activity that my culture said was okay, but I knew God said was wrong. So to bring this video to a close, it simply does not matter whether you like Christianity's stance on homosexuality or premarital sex or really any other moral matter. How a doctrine pleases or displeases you does not affect its truth or the truth of the faith in which it is found. When you get up and you say that this was what led you from the faith, you are admitting that your apostasy was not from reason, it was not from critical thought, it was simply you choosing your own corrupt desires over God.